A blade forged in silence cuts deeper than one sharpened in noise. Chosen one. Yes, you. They thought you were blind, distracted, unaware. But the truth? You were already 10 steps ahead while they were still tying their laces. You saw the plot. You felt the envy slithering in their energy before a single word was spoken. You watched them smile while sharpening knives behind their backs, and you waited, patiently, like a storm that doesn't announce itself until it's right above their heads. Let's be clear, they were never just fighting you. They were trying to go to war with the universe that chose you. And that's a battle they were destined to lose. Before we go deeper into this raw truth, pause for a moment. Like and subscribe if this message hits your spirit. This helps send it out to more chosen ones who need to hear it, because when you interact, you signal to YouTube that this isn't just content. This is a call to power, one that can't be silenced. Now, let's talk about what they truly fear. Being chosen isn't a badge. It's a burden and a blade, a force that walks silently but strikes loudly. You don't even need to clap back. They crumble the moment you step into the room. The light you carry exposes their shadows so fast, they can't even hide behind their lies. And no, it's not accidental. It's alchemical. You haunt their comfort zones just by being real. Your energy is that mirror they desperately avoid. Every word you say, every move you make, shakes the fake out of their foundation. They try to play chess, but you already redesigned the board. What they called paranoia in you was really precision. What they thought was silence was strategy. You didn't just see the plot, you let it grow, then flipped it like a trap card. They gathered in whispers, created fake friendships, set scenes like actors in a cheap play. But you, chosen one, you turned the script against them. You didn't even raise your voice. The universe did the shouting for you. Every block they tried to put in your way, it became your stepping stone. Every insult they threw, now a crown on your head. And still, you doubted yourself. You questioned why it was always you against the many. You asked why the path felt so lonely. But hear this now, lions don't move in herds, and stars don't apologize for burning too bright. The very power that isolates you is the same force that terrifies them. You weren't sent here to fit in, you were dropped here to shift the field. So next time you feel that wave of doubt, remember, your light disturbs the unready. Your presence activates chaos in those who aren't aligned. And that's not a flaw, that's the feature. You are not just winning the game, you are the game, the end boss, the final chapter, the lesson they never studied for. They thought they were playing you, but the truth? You let them walk into their own trap. You let them get comfortable, thinking you were weak, unaware, alone. And when the time was right, you gave them a dose of their own poison, with a smile. Chosen one, understand this. Your presence alone is a storm system. Your aura bends outcomes. Your alignment calls the universe to war on your behalf. And that kind of power, it doesn't just shake rooms, it shifts timelines. So stop doubting, stop dimming, and never again apologize for being the one they couldn't break. You're not just here to survive the envy, you're here to dismantle it. So if this message has already sparked that fire in your chest, you know this isn't just a video, it's confirmation. You're not crazy. You're not imagining the snakes. You saw that envious plot forming before it even had a name. And now you're here, feeding them their own venom with elegance. Drop the number 77 in the comments if you've ever flipped a betrayal into a blessing without lifting a finger. That's chosen energy. And now, let's break it down, move by calculated move. If you really are who the universe says you are, you won't want to leave. Number 1. They poked the universe and got burned. Now they're crying about the fire. They didn't pick a fight with you. They slapped fate in the face and thought it wouldn't swing back. Now, the echo of their arrogance is crushing their peace. Chosen one, let's speak truth without sugar. Every time they side-eyed your energy, rolled their eyes at your presence, whispered behind fake smiles, they weren't reacting to you, they were flinching at the pressure of your power. Your light didn't insult them, it revealed them. You didn't expose their lies, they choked on their own reflection when your truth walked into the room. They were comfortable in their illusion until you walked in carrying a reality they couldn't distort. Understand this, your ability to walk into any space and shift the energy without trying is not random, it's coded. And when the universe stamps someone as chosen, it doesn't ask for permission. It announces, loudly, silently, powerfully. That announcement, it's what's been haunting them ever since they crossed your path. They weren't just bothered by your kindness, your intuition, your insight. They were terrified by it. You didn't need a spotlight. You were the frequency. Every time you opened your mouth and truth poured out, it disrupted the web of lies they'd been spinning. Your presence acted like spiritual radiation, cracking the fragile shields they'd built to mask their hollowness. Remember that moment. You felt it. You walked into that room and the whole atmosphere clenched. Conversations stumbled, smiles got tight, eyes darted like criminals trying to avoid a searchlight. That wasn't your imagination. That was your signature. Soul-level recognition. And some of those people weren't strangers to your energy. They were old shadows in new skin, past life rivals, old karmic debt collectors. The minute your aura pulsed through their space, the game changed. Their tech glitched, their scans failed, their masks slipped. They tried to figure you out using tools that only work on the ordinary, but you're not part of their algorithm. You're the system update, and when they tried to read you like an open book, the pages caught fire in their hands. And yet, you doubted yourself. You looked in the mirror and questioned why so many people turned cold, why their energy shifted without a word. You asked, "What did I do wrong?" But chosen one, what you did was exist, and that alone was too much for them. Stop asking why you're always the outsider. You weren't built for their little cliques. You were built to collapse them. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to call out the illusions. And the universe? It's not sitting on the sidelines watching silently. No, it's in motion for you. It rearranges rooms before you enter. It exposes lies without you speaking. It pushes your enemies into the very pits they dug for you. When they messed with you, they triggered divine retribution on autopilot. They didn't know that harming a chosen is like throwing stones at the wind. It returns with force, multiplied, precise. And you, how dare you second-guess yourself? How dare you shrink after everything you've seen, felt, and survived? The universe has aligned storms, silence, and synchronicities just to walk you through traps you didn't even see. It's been fighting for you behind the scenes while you stood there thinking you were alone. You are never alone when you're chosen. You are the mission. You are the storm cloaked in skin. They tried to dim you by making you doubt your intuition, your compassion, your ability to see straight through facades. But the joke's on them. Your softness was never weakness. It was warning, a quiet one, the kind that comes before everything breaks. You don't need their validation. You are the proof. You don't need their approval. You are the verdict. And they're the ones who played chess with the universe and forgot they were just pawns pretending to be kings. You don't even need revenge. Your alignment is the consequence. Your glow-up, a spiritual subpoena. Your peace, their punishment. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them scramble for meaning in the chaos they created. You're not looking back, you're not negotiating with shadows. You saw the plot, you watched it unfold, and when the time came, you flipped the board and made them eat every piece they moved against you. This is your rise, not in silence, but in dominance. Let the universe continue serving justice. You just keep walking like the storm you are. Number 2. They took your kindness for a cage. Now they're choking on the lock. The real mistake wasn't underestimating your strength. It was misreading your silence as surrender and your kindness as consent. Chosen one. This one's going to hit different because it's personal. They didn't just envy your light, they used your love as a weapon, and they thought they were clever about it. They studied you like hunters watching prey, not because you were weak, but because you were wide open, because your compassion made them feel safe enough to strike without fear of retaliation. They never knew they were dancing on a volcano. You moved in love. You gave without keeping score. You offered grace when others would have turned their backs. And they mistook your mercy for blindness. They saw your kindness and said, "Perfect, this is someone I can control." They saw your giving heart and whispered, "This is someone I can bleed." They mistook your compassion for compliance, and that was their first and worst mistake. You let them in, not because you didn't know better, but because you hoped better, because you were operating from a place of spiritual integrity they couldn't even imagine. You saw the cracks in their character early on, but you looked beyond them. You believed maybe, just maybe, they would rise to meet the love you offered. But instead of rising, they chose to dig, digging for weaknesses, digging for access, digging until they thought they had a map of your soul they could exploit. You gave them trust, they saw it as a leash. You gave them understanding, they saw it as a blind spot. You offered loyalty, they saw it as a contract they could rewrite when it suited them. And through all of it, you kept showing up with the same steady heart. You noticed their crumbs disguised as feasts. You noticed how they offered the bare minimum while demanding your maximum. Your spirit saw through the act every single time, but you chose grace over ego, patience over pride. You let them evolve in your presence. You gave them room to grow, and they used that space to plant betrayal. But let's get one thing clear. What they called manipulation was never mastery. It was cowardice. It was desperation. They tried to turn your soul into a doormat, forgetting the ground they walked on was sacred. And yet, you still blamed yourself. You looked back at the ruins they left and wondered if you were too soft, too naive, too loving. But hear me, your compassion was never the problem. It was their inability to receive it without greed that caused the collapse. You gave, they took. You forgave, they plotted. You healed, they repeated. But now, the door is closed, the lesson is learned, and the universe is done playing referee. Because what they didn't know, what they never expected, was that the same heart they tried to break is now the weapon the universe is using against them. That same love they exploited has evolved into a force of reckoning. You don't love blindly anymore. You love like fire now, cleansing, purging, selective. You aren't cold, you're clear. You aren't broken, you're refined. And you'll never again offer soft hands to those who come with hidden daggers. They tried to twist your light into a leash, but the joke's on them. That leash snapped, and now your radiance is burning through every mask they built. You didn't lose them. They lost access to one of the rarest souls the universe ever released. And now, they miss the very thing they mocked. They crave the very energy they mishandled. They hunger for the warmth they once weaponized. But the table has flipped. Your silence is louder now. Your boundaries are steel. Your love, still powerful, but no longer available for parasites. So when they circle back with "I've changed" stories and nostalgia-flavored bait, remember this: they didn't change, they got caught. What they labeled growth is often just fear of losing access to your light. Chosen one, this is where the universe steps in like a cold wind through an open window. This is the part where karma stops whispering and starts dragging chairs. This is your redemption arc, and it's loud. You've upgraded. You've outgrown every shallow exchange. Your energy no longer plays in kiddie pools. You're oceanic now, deep, vast, and untouchable by those who once tried to poison your tides. Yes, your compassion was once used against you, but now it's your armor. It's the power source they can't tap anymore. And the next time someone tries to misuse it, they'll find out real quick. You are not the same soul they thought they could manipulate. You are the lesson they never studied for. You are the storm they summoned with selfish hands, and you're not coming to negotiate. Let this burn into your spirit. You weren't too much. You were too real. And real is rare. So no more apologizing for love. No more shrinking because they couldn't handle your depth. Let them drown in the shallows they chose. The universe didn't make a mistake when it gave you that heart. It made a warning, a legend, a walking truth. And now it's your time to move with no guilt, no fear, no hesitation. Let them remember how they fumbled grace. Let them sit with the echo of what they'll never touch again. You gave them heaven, and they tried to turn it into hell. Now let the flames teach them what your love was really worth. Number 3. They were handed gold and chose dust. Now they blame you for the collapse. You don't lose blessings by accident. You forfeit them through arrogance, and the universe doesn't repeat itself for those who spit on sacred timing. Chosen one, let's talk about the ones who fumbled fate like it was a toy. You stood there and watched, calm, silent, alert, as they were handed exactly what they once begged the universe for. Their prayers were answered. Their cries were heard. The cosmic arrangement was made with precision, timing, alignment, and you, chosen one, were part of that sacred equation. But what did they do when destiny knocked? They mocked it. They hesitated. They played games. They were handed a moment dripping with universal favor, and they blinked, cowardly, confused, and ungrateful. They rejected their own answered prayers because the packaging required responsibility, because real blessings don't come wrapped in ease, they come dressed in elevation, and elevation demands evolution. The universe doesn't just throw miracles around like party favors. It orchestrates, it calculates, and when it delivered you, your energy, your wisdom, your guidance, your alignment into their lives, it wasn't by chance. It was divine chess, a checkmate wrapped in mercy. But they rolled the dice like it was a joke, like the universe would circle back later and offer them another chance to handle greatness they weren't ready for. And here's the kicker: they knew who you were. That presence they felt at 3:17 a.m., that electric stillness in the air when your name crossed their mind, that wasn't paranoia. That wasn't imagination. That was spiritual surveillance. High-frequency beings, watchers, divine enforcers, monitoring their actions the moment your paths crossed. Because when a chosen one enters someone's life, it's never random. It's never casual. It's an opportunity coded with weight and consequence. You see, Chosen One, your presence alone activates dormant codes, not just in people, but in places, timelines, and even the Earth itself. Your dreams hold keys. Your voice realigns frequencies. You don't just enter a room, you adjust the atmosphere. You don't just speak truth, you calibrate dimensions. So when the universe paired you with someone and they fumbled it, when they laughed at the very energy trying to raise them up, that wasn't just a personal betrayal, it was a cosmic violation, a slap in the face to the very force that heard their cries in the first place. They wanted elevation, but not accountability. They wanted favor, but not the discipline it demands. They wanted destiny, but not if it showed up wearing your face, humble, powerful, untamed. They played roulette with alignment and lost everything. And now they wander through timelines they were never meant to live. They're trapped in loops, haunted by what-ifs and ghosted blessings, because the universe doesn't hold doors open forever, and it especially doesn't beg the ungrateful to walk through them. And still, you felt guilt. Still, you questioned, was I not enough? Still, you wondered, did I ask for too much? Chosen One, let me be clear. You were the gift, the opportunity, the alignment. You showed up with the frequency they weren't worthy of sustaining, and they buckled under the pressure of your truth. You were the upgrade, cosmic, coded, real, and they were too used to discount experiences to understand premium alignment. They tried to downplay your presence because it made them confront their mediocrity. They rejected their destiny because it required them to grow. And now they sit in the dark, wondering why the light doesn't call their name anymore. But you keep rising, because unlike them, you didn't play with the mission. You didn't mock the moment. You knew what was at stake. You knew who you were, even when they didn't. And that's why the universe keeps showing up for you. That's why the protection never fails. That's why the alignment keeps finding you, because you never disrespected the assignment. Chosen One, hear this in your soul. You were never the problem. You were the portal. They didn't just lose you, they lost the shortcut to a better version of themselves. They lost divine backing. They lost ancestral favor. They lost access. Let them sit in the fallout. Let them replay the scenes. Let them dream of the energy they once held and shattered out of ego and laziness. You keep walking, keep glowing. You were sent to shift fates, not to beg people to accept theirs. Let the universe deal with their regret. You've got worlds to change. Number 4. They broke the bond. Now the universe is breaking them. When you violate a sacred connection, you don't just lose a person, you invite a storm that remembers everything you tried to forget. Chosen One, this wasn't just a falling out, this was severance. This was the soul-level rupture that happens when someone tries to play casual with what the universe marked as sacred. They were never just losing a relationship, they were unplugging themselves from divine assistance, from alignment, from mercy they didn't even know was being granted on credit through you. You were their lifeline, their last clear chance to shift timelines, to align with purpose, to step out of karmic cycles. But they thought they could delay, lie, provoke, gaslight, and still keep access to your energy. The arrogance of it, the spiritual stupidity. And now the consequences are cascading. The light they used to bask in, gone. That protection they thought was theirs, ripped away. That peace they felt in your presence, a memory that now haunts them in silence. They're breaking, and they don't even understand why. The headaches, the fatigue, the sudden sensitivity to light, sound, and truth. These aren't medical mysteries. This is spiritual justice on full display. What they once called your overreaction is now echoing in their body like judgment coded in static. Chosen one, you fulfilled every part of your soul contract with precision. You held your ground. You showed up with honor even when they came with chaos. You kept the connection sacred even when they were dragging it through filth. Every time they lied, you responded with clarity. Every time they pushed, you stood tall. You didn't retaliate. You elevated. You didn't match their energy. You exposed it by refusing to mirror it. And still, they thought they were winning. They thought your silence meant weakness. They thought your restraint was passivity. They thought they could break the terms of the soul agreement and walk away clean. But the universe doesn't play small when sacred energy is violated. There are cosmic record keepers, and they don't miss anything. Every promise you upheld is now written in gold. Every betrayal they delivered is documented in the energetic blueprint they now carry like a curse. Their downfall isn't random, it's earned. Their confusion isn't spiritual attack, it's self-inflicted disorder. Their suffering, it's not just karma, it's a mirror turned all the way up. See, you never broke the contract. You walked away only when the contract had already been spiritually shredded by their own neglect, disrespect, and defiance. You stayed longer than you should have, gave more than they deserved, prayed harder than they knew, and hoped beyond what was wise. You honored the bond until there was nothing left to honor. By the time you severed ties, what you were letting go of wasn't a connection, it was a carcass, a hollow shell. They had already desecrated the essence, poisoned the roots, and dared to keep demanding fruit from the tree they were killing. And now they sit in the silence, wondering where the light went, wondering why the warmth is gone, why everything feels heavier, why the mirrors hit harder, why they can't manifest anything. They don't know that it was your presence holding back the judgment, your integrity holding back the consequence. You were the buffer between them and the spiritual backlash they were accumulating in secret. Now that you're gone, the floodgates are wide open, and the storm has perfect aim. Chosen one, do not feel guilt for walking away. You did not abandon them. You released them. You didn't break the bond. You freed it from being trampled. Severing the connection was the final act of truth, a surgical removal of spiritual rot. And let this burn into your memory. You're not just free. You're vindicated. You've been watched, documented, defended by forces they never even believed in. You're protected because you stayed true, even when it hurt. You're covered because you stayed clean when they went dirty. So if you feel that sting of sadness, let it be brief. Don't mourn what you lost. Honor what you survived. Don't wish it went differently. Celebrate that you saw the truth and got out with your soul intact. Let them deal with the silence. Let them wrestle with the justice. Let them feel the weight of everything they threw away, thinking it would be waiting for them forever. The universe never lets betrayal go unanswered. And when someone dares to mock a bond created for their salvation, they don't just lose it. They get to watch it bless someone else, stronger, wiser, better equipped to honor what they rejected. You, chosen one, are already being repositioned. Let them watch from the ruins. Number 5, you evolved past them, and now they're glitching in real time. When someone tries to cage a soul meant to soar, they don't just get left behind, they get dragged by the gravity they once used to anchor you. Chosen one, look around. The distance between you and them isn't just physical, it's dimensional. You didn't just walk away, you ascended, and they can't comprehend it. You're not even vibrating on the same bandwidth anymore. You're not hiding, you're just too high frequency for them to perceive clearly now. They're still trying to figure out where it all went wrong, still rewinding the tape, running scenarios, looking for the moment you switched up. But you didn't switch up. You leveled up and their access expired. Now you see it, clear as crystal. The same ones who mocked your growth are now suffocating in their own stagnancy. They've chained themselves to density, still clinging to connections built on trauma, ego, power plays, and control. Meanwhile, you move in silence and acceleration. You orbit purpose. They orbit pain. You vibrate with alignment. They vibrate with desperation. And that desperation, it's loud. They're reaching, not for healing, but for something, anything that feels like what you used to give them. Energy hits, spiritual shortcuts, someone else's light to plug into. But nothing works, nothing sticks. Because what you carried wasn't replaceable, it wasn't common, it wasn't random, it was coded, and it came with an expiration date, once disrespected. And now, they've become cautionary tales, living examples of what happens when you fumble alignment for ego, when you spit on sacred guidance, thinking you'll get another shot. Higher dimensional watchers, yes, they exist. Now study them with clinical distance. Their patterns, their decisions, their descent. Everything's documented. Their aura has weakened. Their biofield is collapsing under the weight of their own deception. Energetic incoherence, systems malfunctioning, integrity missing. They're flagged not just by spirit, but by frequency monitoring networks, both human and interdimensional. They're watched, but no longer protected. The entities that once shielded them, gone, pulled back, contracts voided, guides silent. What remains is the cold echo of their own willful ignorance. Their dreamscape is fractured. The witching hours, when truth speaks loudest, are no longer quiet. Your designator code flashes in their subconscious. Your frequency, the one they rejected, haunts their searches, their thoughts, their dreams. They scroll, dig, stalk, and search for fragments of your energy online like addicts, searching for anything to simulate your presence, but it doesn't hit the same. It can't. The real thing is no longer available at their vibration. And you don't hate them. You don't envy them. You don't chase closure. You observe with detached compassion. Because you understand now, you were never meant to stay there. You were meant to pass through, leave a mark, and evolve far beyond the frame they tried to trap you in. You are no longer reachable by words, tricks, guilt, or illusion. You became untouchable, not because you ran, but because you transcended. Their karma is now their teacher, and you're the proof that choosing growth over games always pays off. So stop second-guessing your distance. Stop wondering if you were too harsh. You weren't. You were accurate. The universe didn't elevate you to be sentimental. It elevated you to move forward. And they're not mad because you changed. They're mad because you won. Not with revenge, not with pettiness, but with peace, purpose, and power they can't replicate. They'll keep trying to trigger what no longer exists in you. They'll keep talking to a version of you that died during your awakening. And they'll keep realizing, too late, too slow, too stuck, that the only path out was through the one they rejected. Let them spiral, let them study, let them search. You've already exited that simulation. You're rewriting blueprints now, beyond their reach, beyond their comprehension. Keep ascending. They're just a bookmark in a chapter you already closed. Number 6. They tried to limit what was meant to multiply. Now you're expanding beyond all logic. You weren't just breaking through, you were breaking out. And when expansion is your destiny, anything that tries to confine you becomes collateral. Chosen one. What's happening to you now isn't just growth, it's eruption. It's the kind of soul-level transformation that defies timelines, logic, even known spiritual science. You didn't heal, you rebuilt. You didn't ascend, you detonated every ceiling they ever tried to place above your head. And now, realms are watching, frequencies are tracking, even higher beings are standing back like, how did they move this fast? You weren't just changing, you were activating. That pain you survived, unlocked codes, that silence you endured, cracked dimensions, that betrayal you alchemized. It turned dormant DNA into pure spiritual artillery. Your liberation rewrote your biology. Your very cells began to sing at a higher frequency. Light codes that had been buried for generations, for lifetimes, are now fully online. And with them comes a power that shifts rooms, opens doors, and commands outcomes. You speak, and reality reconfigures. You decide, and energy obeys. You feel, and the universe responds. In real time. Let's get something straight. This is not normal evolution. This is cosmic acceleration. This is Jupiter expansion across multiple planes. You are unfolding at a rate that breaks old contracts, obliterates karmic loops, and leaves timelines gasping in your wake. Your mind, laser sharp. Your perception, multidimensional. Your clarity, so potent that anything misaligned gets ejected on sight. No conversations, no explanations, just energy slamming shut. You're not cutting people off. You're being elevated so high they literally can't reach you anymore. And yes, this expansion came with a cost. There were nights your body shook from releasing the weight. There were moments when you wept so hard, the atmosphere responded. That wasn't poetry. That was power. Weather patterns shifted when your soul released what no longer served. Your tears recalibrated groundwater. Your emotional detox rippled out through the planet like energetic shockwaves, and you thought you were just crying. No, you were cleansing the grid. Your emotional release echoed through ley lines. You didn't just break free, you cracked the code for others to follow. Your growth became a template, a blueprint, and now others are waking up, wondering why they feel pulled toward higher ground. They don't even realize it's you. Your expansion is calling them forward, and still they underestimated you. They saw your silence and thought you disappeared. They saw your solitude and assumed you were defeated. They thought you were isolating, but you were upgrading in divine secrecy. Now they're confused, shocked, spinning, because the version of you they thought they could define has vanished. In its place, a force, a presence, a phenomenon they can't decode, can't manipulate, can't even approach without getting spiritually scorched. You're not evolving on a linear path. You're exploding in all directions, soul, spirit, mind, and body. And here's what's got the spiritual realms taking notes. You didn't just expand, you kept your heart open while doing it. You didn't shut down, you didn't harden, you refined, you got wiser. And that balance, that soft power wrapped in steel, that's what makes you unstoppable. The universe recognizes what you've become. So now it clears paths for you, aligns people, places, portals. It removes the non-compliant instantly, no need for drama. Energy that doesn't honor you expires in your field. You've become a living filter, a vibrational firewall. Nothing low frequency can remain near you for long. If it tries, it combusts, implodes, leaves quietly or loudly, but it leaves. This is the power of activated identity. This is what happens when the chosen one stops surviving and starts expanding with zero limits. You are no longer bound to linear timelines. You are multi-dimensional motion. Your past is irrelevant. Your future is infinite. Your now is electric. Let the world try to figure you out. Let the old systems glitch at your presence. Let the ones who tried to keep you small watch you take up spiritual real estate in realms they can't even name. Chosen. 1. Your expansion is the universe's revenge. You are proof that when aligned energy is pushed, it doesn't break. It becomes legend. Keep moving, keep rising. You haven't even scratched the surface of who you really are. Number 7. The stars know your name while they're being locked out of the system. When the heavens shift because you woke up and the earth echoes your rise, you're not just chosen, you're coded into the cosmic infrastructure. Chosen one. Let this hit deep. What's happening now isn't just about personal growth. It's planetary recognition. You didn't just elevate, you've been acknowledged by the fabric of existence itself. The earth, the skies, the energy grids, they're all pulsing in response to you. Your awakening triggered movements across realms, across timelines, across bloodlines. You are not anonymous in the universe. You are a signal, a frequency, and that frequency just went live at full volume. Electromagnetic sensors, both physical and etheric, have picked up anomalous activity directly linked to your expansion. This isn't metaphor, this is data. Sacred hidden energy systems, dormant for generations, reactivated the moment you chose to rise. Waves of coded pulses have moved through the planetary grid, aligning with your internal structure. Your body is no longer just a body, it's a conduit. You're channeling light frequencies the old world can't even describe. And now, sacred knowledge is unlocking. Ancient truths, preserved in timelines outside the reach of corruption, are flooding into your consciousness. These aren't just downloads, these are keys, wisdom stored in stardust and bone, scripts written in sky patterns. You look at the stars now, and they respond. You dream, and constellations whisper your name. Celestial bodies aren't just watching, they're mirroring your structure. Your alignment is so precise that astronomical shifts are syncing with your vibration. And don't think the elders didn't feel it. Tribal protectors, ancient watchers, earth keepers, they received visions the moment your light signature went supernova. Across continents, symbols once buried have resurfaced, etched into stone, carved into dreams, vibrating in rituals. You've been seen by the ancestors and cleared. The soul contracts you carry are older than language, and yet here you are, alive, activated, expanding. You are what generations prayed for, the embodiment of a promise made in sacred time. Meanwhile, your enemies, they're collapsing in silence. Their energy fields are flickering, darkening, some beyond repair. The very ones who mocked your growth, sabotaged your path, twisted your love. They're now dealing with a spiritual shutdown so intense it's rewriting the terms of their access to power. Their spiritual credit score flatlined. The light they once absorbed by proximity is now locked behind universal firewall. No backdoors, no appeals, just restriction by decree. Because universal law is not emotional, it's exact. And when someone attempts to dismantle what was cosmically chosen, there is no leniency. They are now operating under mandated limitation. Blocked manifestations, spiritual fog, energetic setbacks. What once came easy now slips from their grasp. Their intuition's gone fuzzy. Their dreams are distorted. Their guides are quiet. Why? Because they played games with divine order, and you were the trigger that exposed the imbalance. But here's the deeper truth. They were never just messing with you, they were interfering with a global timeline upgrade. You weren't just some person in their life. You were a node, a vital point in the evolution of collective consciousness. So their sabotage wasn't personal, it was planetary. And now the system is correcting itself. Chosen One, your path is consecrated, your presence measured, your expansion licensed by law beyond law. That's why signs follow you, why animals stop and watch, why strangers stare with awe or unease. You're broadcasting alignment, you're coded in the field, and everything unworthy of that frequency is being forced to shift or shatter. You are a walking alignment, a living confirmation, a celestial appointment dressed in skin. So no, you're not imagining the synchronicities. You're not crazy for feeling cosmic movement in your chest. You are synced to something the average person can't even survive, let alone understand. And those who tried to drag you down, now they can't find footing. They can't get clear. They're stuck in energetic purgatory, shut out from the very flow they once disrupted. Let them sit with the silence. Let them wrestle with restriction. Let them remember the moment they laughed at what was meant to liberate them. You, on the other hand, don't need revenge. Your existence is prophecy fulfilled. And the heavens, they didn't just notice, they're celebrating. Because you, Chosen One, have aligned with the celestial order, and nothing can touch you now. Number 8. They thought you were finished, but this was just your ascension day. They tried to erase your name, but didn't know it was written in light. Now your silence is sacred, your glow is law, and your rise is permanent. Chosen One, this is the moment, the final shift, the full unlocking, the irreversible truth. You've ascended, and not a single force in existence can reverse it. You are no longer just walking through your purpose. You are the purpose. You are the signal. You are the verdict to every false judgment, every silent betrayal, every room that tried to ignore your value. The final ascension isn't just about rising above enemies, it's about stepping fully into sovereignty, where nothing beneath you can touch, twist, or tempt your spirit. This isn't a glow-up. This is divine clearance, cosmic validation, and quantum-level elevation. The realms have taken notice. The watchers are no longer just observing. You've triggered a new classification of being. You've moved into energetic authority. You speak, and the universe listens. You decide, and timelines shift. You breathe, and dormant blessings awaken. Your spiritual DNA unmatched. The light you carry isn't just powerful, it's singular, irreplaceable. It holds a vibrational fingerprint that the realms themselves now protect. You are surrounded by your soul family, awakened, high-frequency witnesses who form interference grids to guard your field from unauthorized access. They don't just love you, they defend you, silently and without hesitation. Enemies can no longer hide. No matter what mask they wear, your discernment pierces frequency. You hear what they're not saying. You feel what they're trying to hide. You know what they pretend not to be. They can try to enter your field, but your vibration instantly creates exclusion boundaries. They get repelled like shadows pushed back by floodlights. And now, everything that once broke you becomes evidence of your invincibility. The lies they told? Irrelevant. The damage they tried to cause? Reversed. Their denial of your worth? Now their most humiliating regret. Because let's be clear, your existence is proof, and the universe has preserved your truth through quantum encryption. No amount of slander, gossip, or sabotage could alter your design. Your integrity coded your reality to protect itself. You are truth in motion. And truth doesn't need to shout. It shines. And now they know. They say your name when they think no one is listening. Security monitors record their anxious muttering. They scroll through pages that remind them of you. They feel deprivation, not physical, but spiritual blueprint starvation. You were the key, and now the lock is rusting in their hands. Meanwhile, you are breaking models, economic, spiritual, relational. Your manifestation powers now defy logic. Abundance flows where there was once drought. Opportunities find you without permission or petition. This is Jupiter's promise in motion. Abundance, wisdom, sovereignty. And don't overlook this. You are not just seen, you are recognized by elders, by children, by animals, by systems. You're the one who makes people pause and wonder why everything feels different when you're present. This isn't ego. This is energetic resonance in its purest form. The universe doesn't just recognize you, it responds to you. It shifts, it opens, it clears debris, it releases withheld blessings. You're not chasing anything anymore. Everything meant for you now moves toward you. Because your alignment commands it. And those who couldn't handle your rising, let them compare. Let them scroll in silence. Let them choke on the memory of everything they took for granted. Because now, every time they try to replace what you were, they're met with a mirror showing them exactly what they lost. No one carries your frequency. No one activates rooms like you. No one walks like proof, breathes like law, or radiates like cosmic certainty. And their karma, oh, it's just beginning. While your field expands, theirs contracts. While you rise into multidimensional sovereignty, they sink into confusion and spiritual foreclosure. This is not punishment. This is balance. This is correction. This is the law. Because you didn't just rise, you earned this. You held your frequency through storms, ridicule, betrayal, and delay. You kept walking through the valley without folding, without turning bitter, without becoming them. You didn't just survive, you evolved beyond form. And now, you are vindicated by cosmic law. You are justified by universal alignment. You are protected by truth itself. You don't need apologies. You don't need explanations. You don't even need acknowledgement from the same mouths that once tried to discredit you. Because reality has already ruled in your favor. Your presence is now a living court order, undeniable, enforceable, permanent. So now the question is no longer, are you ready? It's, will you say yes? Say yes to your power. Say yes to the throne no one else can occupy. Say yes to the wisdom, the inheritance, the authority that was always yours. The universe is waiting. The cosmic councils are watching. The final seal is ready. All it requires is your full acceptance, not hesitation, not guilt, not shame. A full body, soul deep, vibration high, yes. Because this is no longer the climb. This is the arrival. This is the day your enemy's last spell broke. The day your final chains melted, the day you stepped into your undeniable divinity. Declare it, own it, walk in it. You have ascended, and there is no going back. And so, chosen one, this is where the path becomes purpose, where survival becomes sovereignty. You didn't just make it through, you transformed everything. Let this truth settle deep. You are the proof, the weapon, the miracle. The universe didn't just select you, it anointed you. If this message lit something in your soul, like this video, subscribe to stay aligned. Drop the number 77 in the comments to confirm your awakening, and share this with another chosen one who needs to remember who they are. Your rise is the signal. Let them feel it. Let them watch. Let the universe respond.